Welcome to the English Cast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Cast. I'm Emma.
Hey friends, I'm Ryan. It is so wonderful to sit down and practice everyday English with you all.
Whether you are driving your car or cooking dinner, thank you so much for joining us today.
We are here to make English feel easy, practical, and completely natural for you.
So, Ryan, what is new with you? How is your day going?
My day is going incredibly well, Emma. I had a bit of a slow start this morning because I ran out of coffee. A morning without coffee is usually a total disaster for me. But the weather outside is so beautiful and sunny today that it completely fixed my mood. I am feeling very energetic right now.
I completely understand that coffee struggle, but my week has been wonderful. I have been thinking a lot about our listeners lately. I was remembering how difficult it used to be for me to talk about my future. When you are learning English, you have these beautiful, massive dreams in your heart. But when you try to explain those dreams in English, you suddenly feel trapped.
I know that exact feeling. It is one of the most frustrating parts of learning a language. You are a smart, ambitious adult in your native language. Ambition means having a strong desire to succeed. But when you speak English, you feel like you only have the vocabulary of a small child. You cannot express what you truly want out of life.
Exactly. That frustration is why we chose our topic for today. Today, we're talking about how to talk about your dreams and goals in English. We want to give you the exact words and structures you need to share your biggest ambitions with the world.
Sharing your goals is so important because it connects you to other people. I remember a very painful moment in my past. I was sitting in a job interview for a company I really wanted to join. The manager looked at me and asked, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What is your ultimate career goal?"
Oh, that is the classic interview question. It is a high-pressure moment. You obviously knew the answer in your head, but what actually happened when you tried to speak?
I completely froze up. Freezing up means you become so nervous that you cannot move or speak. In my head, my dream was to lead a creative team and travel the world for business, but my English vocabulary disappeared. I just smiled awkwardly and gave a very short, boring answer. I walked out of that room feeling like I failed to show them my true self.
I am so sorry you experienced that. But it is such a universal story. Universal means it happens to almost everyone everywhere. I had a similar experience when I made a new friend from another country. I wanted to share my dream of starting a charity to help children, but I kept using the past tense instead of the future, and my friend was completely confused. I felt so embarrassed that I just changed the subject.
It is a terrible feeling to hide your dreams just because you are missing a few grammar structures. But the good news is that talking about your dreams is actually very simple once you know the secret pattern. We use a specific type of language for imaginary situations and big goals.
Before we reveal that secret pattern and start having some fun with it, we have a quick favor to ask you. If you have big dreams for your future, or if you know a friend who is working hard to achieve their goals, please share this episode with them right now.
Yes, share it with someone who inspires you. And while you are doing that, please take 1 second to hit the like button and subscribe to the English Cast. Your support helps us grow our community and continue making these practical lessons for you every single week. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for subscribing, everyone. Now, let us talk about the secret to sharing your goals. When we talk about dreams, we are talking about things that are not real yet. They are in our imagination. To do this, we use a very simple formula. We say the word if, followed by a past action, and then we use the word would.
That is the perfect, simple explanation. Even though we use a past action word, we are actually talking about the future or a dream. For example, you can say, "If I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house." You do not have the money right now, but you are painting a picture of your goal.
Exactly. We are painting a picture. If I had, I would. It is that simple. And to practice this, we are going to play a game today. We call it the dream game. We are going to ask each other some big questions about our goals and our values. Listeners, pay close attention to how we use that if and would pattern. Are you ready, Ryan?
I am absolutely ready. Let us start with a massive financial dream. Imagine that after we finish recording today, you buy a lottery ticket. Tonight, you find out you have won $10 million. Emma, if you won that much money today, how would your life change?
Oh, wow. $10 million. That changes absolutely everything. You know, I have thought about this specific goal before. Honestly, if I won that money, I do not think I would become a completely different person. My values would stay the same. However, I would definitely upgrade my daily lifestyle.
Upgrading your lifestyle is a great goal. What exactly would you buy? Where would you live with all that money?
If I had that money, I would buy a beautiful, spacious house right next to the ocean. The sound of the ocean waves makes me feel incredibly peaceful. And regarding my career, I truly love communicating and helping people, so I would keep working. But I would probably do it for free just to help more students around the world.
That is such a wonderful, inspiring answer. It is very natural for you to think about helping others. But I have to challenge you on this one. $10 million is total, absolute freedom. If I were in your shoes, I think I would stop working immediately.
Stop working completely? That sounds a little bit lazy, Ryan. What would you actually do with all of your free time?
If I won that jackpot, I would take my best friends and my family on a year-long world tour. We would stay in the most incredible hotels in Europe and Asia. We would eat the best local food, and we would just enjoy life without any stress. Life is too short to work in an office if you do not have to.
That does sound like an amazing dream to have. Traveling the world without worrying about a budget is the ultimate goal for so many people. But Ryan, don't you think you would get bored eventually? If you didn't have a daily goal or a purpose, you might feel lost. That is exactly why I said I would keep working.
That is a very fair point. You need a purpose to feel happy. But that is the beauty of talking about our dreams. We get to explore different versions of our future. Now, let us move away from money and talk about a long-term vision. Emma, if you had a working time machine, would you go to the past or the future?
Oh, that is a very deep question. It really reveals what a person values. If I had a time machine, I would definitely go to the past. I think I would travel back to the 1920s in Paris. I would love to meet famous writers and artists. The fashion, the music, the creative atmosphere, it just seems completely magical to me. What about you? Past or future?
Your answer is very artistic and romantic. But for me, I am way too curious about technology and human progress. My goal is always looking forward. If I could travel anywhere, I would go exactly 500 years into the future. I want to see how the world changes.
500 years is a very long time. What exactly do you hope to see in the future?
I want to see if we finally have flying cars in the cities. I want to know if humans are living on Mars, or if advanced robots are doing all of our difficult physical work. I want to see the ultimate goals of humanity achieved.
That is very exciting, but also a little risky. What if the future is actually a scary place? What if the robots have taken over the world and humans are not in charge anymore?
That is a risk I would definitely take just to satisfy my curiosity. But actually, I want to pause here for a quick language tip. Notice that I said, if I could travel. A lot of learners get nervous and make a slight mistake here. They say, if I would travel.
Yes, that is such a common mistake when people talk about their dreams. Listeners, remember this simple rule. Never put the word would right next to the word if. You say, if I went, not if I would go. Keep the would for the second part of your sentence, the result part.
Exactly. Keep it clean and simple. Okay, are you ready for the next dream scenario? This one is about overcoming your personal limitations. If you could have any single superpower in the world, like flying, reading minds, or super strength, which one would you choose to help you achieve your goals?
This is a really fun concept to think about. I know many people choose flying because it represents freedom, but I have a very different choice. If I could have any superpower, I would choose the ability to speak and understand every single language in the world instantly.
I should have guessed that answer. As someone who loves communication, that is the perfect dream for you. Why is that specific power so important to your life goals?
Just imagine the possibilities, Ryan. I would travel to any small village in the world, in any country, and connect with the local people perfectly. I could listen to their stories and share my own without any barriers. To me, connecting deeply with other human beings is the greatest power on earth.
That is a beautiful vision. My choice is a bit more selfish and focused on efficiency. Efficiency means doing things quickly without wasting time. If I could choose a power, I would pick teleportation. Teleportation is the ability to instantly disappear and appear in a new location.
Teleportation would save you a massive amount of time. How would you use that power in your daily life?
The idea of snapping my fingers and instantly being in Tokyo for a sushi lunch, and then snapping again to be in Rome for a pasta dinner, is just incredible. Plus, I would never, ever be late for a business meeting again. I could wake up 5 minutes before work.
Teleportation would definitely be cool. But think about all the physical exercise you would miss. You would never walk anywhere. You would just snap your fingers and appear on the sofa.
That is a very valid point. I guess if I could teleport, I would get very lazy and probably gain a lot of weight. Okay, let's move away from superpowers and try a scenario that tests your professional ambitions. Let us talk about leadership goals.
Oh, this sounds a bit more serious. I am ready. What is the leadership scenario?
Imagine this massive responsibility. If you were the president of the world for just 24 hours and you could change only one global rule, what would you change to make the world better?
Wow. President of the whole world? That is an incredible amount of power. Let me think about my ultimate goal for humanity. If I were in that position, I would make university education completely free for every single person on Earth.
That is a fantastic, highly impactful answer. But pause for just 1 second, Emma. I noticed you said, if I were in that position, and not if I was in that position. Why did you choose that specific word?
I am so glad you caught that. That is a very important detail when we talk about our dreams. When we talk about imaginary situations, it is much more professional and natural to use the word were for all subjects, even for I or he or she.
Spot on. So saying, if I were the manager, sounds much better and more educated than saying, if I was the manager. It is a small detail, but it makes your English sound incredibly polished. Okay, back to your amazing answer. Free global education? Why did you choose that specific goal?
I chose it because I truly believe that if everyone had equal access to knowledge, we would naturally solve most of the world's biggest problems. Educated people can solve poverty, cure diseases, and build better communities. Education literally changes everything. Now, what about you, Mr. President? If you were in charge, what is your ultimate goal?
Well, my answer is definitely not as noble or serious as yours. If I were the president of the world, I would officially make the weekend 3 days long. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday would be mandatory holidays. Every single week, forever.
I actually love that idea. You are focusing on mental health, rest, and human happiness. Why do you think a 3-day weekend is so important?
I think if people rested more and spent more time with their families, they would actually work much better during the other 4 days. Everyone in the modern world is far too stressed and exhausted. My goal would be to give humanity its time back.
You know what? You have completely convinced me. A 3-day weekend sounds like absolute paradise. We really solved the world's biggest problems today. But now, get ready, Ryan, because I have a slightly more difficult moral question for you.
Oh no, a moral question. That means it is about doing the right thing versus the wrong thing. I am a little nervous, but go ahead and ask.
Imagine you are walking down the street and you find a thick wallet on the ground with $2,000 in cash inside. There is no identification card and absolutely no way to find the owner. No one is looking at you. In that exact moment, what would you do with the money?
This is a true test of personal values. If I kept the money and spent it on myself, I would feel incredibly guilty. I am also someone who worries about bad luck. If I took that cash, I would worry that something bad would happen to me later to balance the universe.
It is very hard to enjoy something when you know it does not truly belong to you. So, what is your final decision?
Even though having extra cash is nice, I think I would donate the entire amount to a local charity. I would give it to an organization that buys food for families in need. That way, a strange situation turns into a positive goal for the community.
That is a very healthy way to look at it. You are turning potential bad luck into a genuinely good deed. A good deed is an action that helps others. If I were in that exact situation, I think I would wait around the street for an hour to see if the owner came back searching for it.
That is very patient of you. And if the owner never returned?
If they never came back, I would probably do the exact same thing as you. It feels like dirty money if you spend it on a luxury item for yourself. Giving it away aligns with my personal goal of being an honest person.
Exactly. It just wouldn't feel right to keep it. And for our listeners, I want you to notice how we use phrases like, if I were, I would, and I could, all through these stories. That is the exact framework you need to practice when you talk about your own career, your family, or your future.
It really is the most powerful tool to express your ambitions. When you use this structure, you sound confident. You are no longer trapped in the present moment. You can safely invite people into your imagination and share your beautiful goals with them.
Let's quickly summarize the key takeaways from today's conversation. First, do not hide your dreams just because you feel nervous about your vocabulary. Your goals are an important part of who you are, and people want to hear them.
Second, use the simple imaginary formula. If plus a past action, followed by I would. For example, if I got the promotion, I would lead a bigger team. It is a simple, elegant pattern that instantly elevates your English.
And third, remember to use if I were instead of if I was when talking about yourself in these dream scenarios. It shows that you have a strong, polished command of the language. If you practice these small steps, you will confidently navigate any job interview or deep conversation. All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope this conversation helped make English feel clearer and more natural for you today.
Before we go, we have a quick question for you. What is one small step you will take today to improve your English? Write your answer in the comments below. We read all of them.
Yes, your idea might help another learner too. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe to the English Cast.
Thanks for investing your time with us. Keep learning, keep speaking, and we will see you in the next episode.